Hello my friends, today I have a very interesting video for you. Normally I review and talk about instruments that I really like. Today I'm going to talk about an instrument off of Temu that I do not like. And this happens to have a flat back, which is a very unique way of shipping it for less money. But I think actually for travel pan makers this could be an interesting idea for you, so not totally innovationless. But let's take a look at what $140 with free express shipping gets you. And this is, I believe, a G minor. We'll check in a second. Here we go. Alright, so the first thing out of the box I noticed is a horrible chemical smell, which I believe was the case, but it did come with a case. Again, this has a flat profile, and when I went to grab it off my porch, I was like, how the heck did they fit a travel pan in that size? But they cut down on the cost of shipping by flattening the back side of it, which I think is actually kind of a cool innovation, to be honest. But aside from that, this is what it sounds like. And I know people are attracted to buying the cheapest instrument possible. Sometimes there are some great Chinese handpans. This isn't knocking Chinese handpans as a whole, but I think people need to be aware of what the lowest quality on Temu will give you. So here we go. Here's the center note. Has the octave, and then the fifth is a half step. It's a little off. Shoulder is actually tuned, surprisingly. I don't think purposefully. When people talk about things being low quality, what they're really talking about is the instrument not being in tune and not staying stable. And I actually think, because this has a fair amount of work around the edges, that the stability would be okay. But you can hear it hasn't been blended well, so the notes kind of bleed into each other. There's not a lot of interstitial work to isolate the notes. So it's just not a great sounding instrument. Particularly this one you can hear if I block the center. This is causing crosstalk, sympathetic resonance in some cases, crosstalk in other cases. With that note. And when you're paying that little, you have to kind of expect that something's not going to be that great quality. But I'm still going to play a little song on it for you to get an idea. So you'll hear again the octave is tuned on most of these notes. The fifth is not. These ones have it. This one does not. That's off. That's also off. Again, you can have an instrument that is a pure tone instrument and it can still sound great. So that's not necessarily an indicator of it being perfect. Like the Sunpan has just the octave tuned into it. That said, my partner thinks it sounds kind of like a hong, which is a bit of an insult to pan art, but it could sound tolerable, I think, if this octave note was tuned. And maybe I'll have someone hammer it for me before I give it away. But this is what you get. So should you buy a Temu Handpan? Again, this is the cheapest one. I think it normally retails for $170 or $180. And it's a mini, it's a travel pan. Probably not. But if you don't have the money for a handpan and you don't ever think that you're going to be able to save up $1,000 for a quality one, there are other ones in the maybe starting at $500 or $600 that are playable out of the box. They're not great, they're not performance quality instruments, but it's something you could start on and then you could move forward as you decide whether you're going to actually continue with the hobby or not. I'm of the opinion that cheaper handpans have a place to serve in sort of the public consciousness of handpan playing. They're not inherently evil. All of the great makers are still making great instruments. All of the makers that are making not so good instruments are still making them as well. And I think that the Chinese instruments are going to fill the gap for people that want to get into it, want to see if they like it, but don't actually feel like they want to make that purchase. So this is what you get for $140 from Temu, a very flat-backed, as described by another person, hong-sounding instrument out of stainless steel. So hope this saves you guys some money and motivates you to invest in a slightly better quality instrument. I sell instruments, and also I have tons of friends in the handpan world that are making instruments for sale that are fantastic quality and reasonable. So, hope you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this type of video, and I'll talk to you soon.